have three residents, each subtler than the other. And great enemies, they have one outer some resident. Then if some more danger comes, they go within somewhere. And then they hide somewhere else only, where they have stocked all things and all which can last for many months and all. Coca-Cola cans and all, cheese and all, chocolates or badam pista, so that they can stay there and survive for a long time. So like that, this Bhagavan said there are three places where this Kam and Krodha. Where are they? Please tell. He says, Indriyani. The first residence of this Kam and Krodha are in our senses. Okay. Then second residence of this Kam and Krodha is our mind, Manaha, where the emotions are there, where Sankalpa, Vikalpa happens, where pros and cons we calculate. In the mind it resides. And the third residence of this Kama Krodha is Buddhihi, in our intellect. See, in our senses, mind, intellect. In our senses, this Kama and Krodha exist as likes and dislikes, which we have seen before also. Indriyasya indriyasyarte ragadvesho vyavasthito. In the senses, this Kama and Krodha itself expresses as our likes and dislikes. Each organ, each of our sense organ, they have their own favorite likes and dislikes. Sometimes even knowingly, unknowingly, our senses react to those likes and dislikes. Certain sound and all, which is this, our senses don't like, we just get little annoyed by that. So the likes and dislikes are on our senses. And that comes from our Prakriti only, what we have experienced in our past lives or past years. All of them create a sense of likes and dislikes at the level of our senses. It is natural. And this you can see even in other creatures, animal, birds, plant, they also have their own sensual likes and dislikes. They may not have their own mind, but they have their own. A dog may like dog biscuits and all. Some dogs and all, they like certain things and all. It is there on there. They don't read the label, isme kya contents kya hai, whether it is good for my health, whether it will increase my BP or something. Nothing like that. They soong lete hai un log, and they like it, they eat it. You, after reading all the Thai book and all, you prepare nice food and just gives it to taste to the dog. He smells it and walks away. Doesn't like, what can you do? you cannot say, you are my dog, आपको पाल पोस के बड़ा किया हूँ मैं, यही दिन दिखाने के लिए. So he doesn't like, what can he do? It is there, inborn. Even little birds or little insects also, they have their own likes and dislikes. Some what you call ants, they attack some sweets like anything. Other sweets, they don't even look at it. You must have noticed. But एक प्रकार के sweets में वो टूट पड़ती है. They like it. What can we do? So these likes and dislikes are prakritic. They are there because of a prakriti of nature, and they lie on our senses. But they also they are kamna only at that level, but then they also exist. This calm also exists in our mind. When this likes and dislike is also strengthened by emotions, then they become a residence of our mind. There are certain things, likes and dislikes, we call them, it is associated with more emotion, with more passion. We call it not like and dislike, then we start calling it, I love it and I hate it. Not like, oh, I just love it. That means that like is no longer on the eyes, but it has gone into your mind. I love, I just love it. It's in the mind. It has got the backing of emotions. And dislike also goes into the mind as hatred. I just can't tolerate it, I tell you. Why that fellow came for my party. I did not invite, but still that God knows why he has to come. And when he comes, I get really irritated. That dislike is in the mind, it is not in the senses only. Not that when you see him, you get irritated, but even when you don't see, then the irritation continues. As far as senses are concerned, only when they are in touch with the objects, that likes and dislike are there. But mind, even when the objects say, "Arey, wo gaya, chale gaya wo," hey, why he had to come? So it is deeper as love and hate. Now, very interesting. This is residence in the senses, residence in the mind. Now, very, very important of the residence of the intellect. Some of the likes and dislikes and some of our love and hate, we justify, we rationalize. We say this is my righteous anger. This is my righteous attraction or love. We justify them because intellect believes in rational thinking, justification, logic. So when we logically, rationally, our own logic, logically, rationally justify our anger and hatred, they start residing in our intellect. It is easier to destroy this or overcome the the kamna when they are at the level of the senses. They become more difficult at the level of our mind and almost impossible at the level of our intellect. If I justify my anger, then who will remove them? Then it is gone. Because I justify. I never consider it my enemy at all. It's my friend. Righteous anger. Then nothing can be done. Then there is war then. So this is very, very psychologically very interesting thing which Bhagavan has conveyed here, that the kamna resides in the senses, they reside in the mind, and they reside in our intellect also. Sometimes you don't know where that fellow is residing. At times we feel he is on the senses, but he has entered the mind and then suddenly goes into the intellect. And so we start justifying. Even some people who, that kamna, when it goes into the mind, we just want to protect it. So we justify and keep it in our intellect. Sometimes people start quoting from the scriptures from here, there to protect the kamna. Like they say, the devil also can quote. So by quoting this, that, and something, somebody wants to drink, then they will quote some other person this, that he also drunk, and that fellow also this, therefore I am also drinking. That's all. So justifying by using whatever logic which the intellect, their own intellect, because if the kamna remains only in the mind, then intellect will keep on irritating that fellow. Rightfully, he will say this is enemy. Even at the level of our mind, our wisdom will tell us that it is enemy. But once we have justified that enemy, then ho gaya fir kaam. Nobody can help. So our wisdom, which we collect from satsang and other, it lies at the intellect level, and it is the one which can oppose this enemy and all. But then it resides in the intellect, then very difficult. So these are the three residents. Etar vimohayati, remaining here, it deludes this person. How? Jnanam avrutya dehinam, by covering the knowledge, by covering wisdom, by covering his sensibility, by covering that wisdom which we have is covered by this calm and krodha. Then that person behaves like a foolish person only, sometimes worse than a foolish person, because wisdom is covered. What that fellow will do, nobody can tell. It's like you close your eyes and start running. on the mountain. Where that fellow will fall and what that person will do, nobody can tell. So, etaihi vimohyayati esha jnanam avritya dehinam. So, the first thing is to locate the enemy. The second thing is to attack. Attack is the best form of defense. So, Bhagavan tells Arjuna how to attack now. It's war, as I said. So, how to attack this enemy called Kama? He said, listen. Tasmat tvamindriyanyadau niyamya bharatarshava papmanam prajahihyenam jnana vijnana nashanam. He says, Tasma, therefore, hey Arjuna, Bharatarshabha, the best among the Bharatas, hey Arjuna, you indriyani ado niyamya, you first control this kamna at the level of the senses. Control your senses, and by that you control this kamana. First, you have to take care of your senses. First, you have to learn not to get overpowered by your raga and dvesha. You should learn not to get overpowered by your likes and dislikes. Because the kamna, though they resides here, they start expressing from the senses only first. They express through the senses. So first you should learn to overcome this kam and krodha at the level of senses. Anger will be there deep within the heart. Anger will be there at the mind. But learn to control your anger at the level of your tongue. Tulsidas ji says, don't say something harsh at the level of your tongue. Even though you are angry. And all this shairi and all, they say that when you are angry, don't say something harsh, because later on when you become friends, you might repent. So, this anger, when it is there, it comes in the form of harsh words. That is the first expression of anger. हाथ बाद में चलता है, किसी का हाथ पहले चलता होगा, but first the tongue starts working. You start expressing in deepest, with your tongue you start attacking. The anger against person or thing or whatever, it gets expressed. So Bhagavan says, you first control your senses. Let them not get expressed through your senses. That is the first way of attacking. Then what happens when we attack the enemy at that outermost this post, they start running inside. They start going into the mind and going into the intellect. But let them go. But first, you attack them at the level of the senses. Tasmat tvam indriyani adav niyamya bharatarshava. Control. And papmanam prajahi henam. This sinful thing called anger and called desire, you destroy it. Why? Jnana vijnana nashanam. It is the destroyer of knowledge and wisdom. Jnana means knowledge which we acquire through satsang, from the books, from some good people. What we acquire is called knowledge. And when that knowledge becomes our own through experience and through contemplation, then it is called wisdom, vijnana. Jnana and vijnana. For example, you listen to this pravachan and all, what you understand is called jnana. But when you are convinced about it, and you also is accompanied by experience about it, then it is called vijnana, wisdom. Then it is your own. Otherwise it is borrowed. Borrowed knowledge, it can go away. It is temporary.